In this video, I'm going to show you how to use some of the more commonly used functions. Now, we're using the spreadsheet from the last tutorial with some changes. You can see I've added in a gender column to find out if they're male or female. I've added in a pass column so we can quickly find out if students have passed or not without having to look at the scores and think about it. I've added number of students, number of males, and number of females. So to work out if students have passed, I'm going to use an if function. So I'm going to go to the function wizard. I'm going to type in if. And there we go, it brings up an if function. Now, an if function has three parts. It has the logical test. It tells you here, look, if any value or expression that can be evaluated is true or false. So my logical test is going to be if the final grade is greater than 70. Okay, so in this case it's true because 86.5. Value if true, I want to put passed. Value if false, I want to put failed. Now you can see with text it puts little quote marks around them. Okay, this means that it's going to put in text. It's not going to put in a cell reference, it's not going to put in numbers, but you can do this if you want to. So just to sum up, my logical test, what's going to happen if the logical test is true? What's going to happen if the logical test is not true? Click OK. So well done, pupil 1, you passed. If I drag down that formula, that function, there we go, we have some students who have failed, look. Not good for those students. So that's the if function. It's used a lot for lots of things. Now, the next thing I want to do is count the number of students. So I'm going to count the number of students here. Now, in this example, it's very easy to see how many students we have. But in real life, pupils are not called pupil 1, pupil 2, etc. Also, you might have 100 students, you might have thousands of students or people in your spreadsheet. So with one function to count them all, it's very easy. Now I'm going to use the wizard. Now you can see here count numbers is already there, but there's more than one count function. And I will show you now by typing in count. There we go. Now count counts the number of cells in the range that contain numbers. Okay, now no numbers here, so I don't want that one. Count A counts the numbers of cells in the range that are not empty. Now that's the one I want. Okay, if it's not empty, if there's something in it, I want to count it as a pupil. So, okay. Now, count just takes values, so I'm going to click this button here, select my range, hit enter. No value 2 because everything is in the range in value 1. As you can see, look, it's correctly calculated that there are 11 students. So click OK, and there we go, it counts, there are 11 students. Now remember, it only counts if it's not empty. So if we delete this name here, there's now only 10 students according to Excel. I just didn't do that. Okay, now I want to count the number of males. Now this might be useful if you do an analysis on whether males perform better than females or not. So I'm going to go to the wizard again, and I'm going to type count again, but this time I want count if, because this one is a combination of counting and if, so we'll only count if a condition is met. So I click OK, I select my range, and now I need my criteria. So this is the number of males. Whoops, I selected the wrong range. Let's change that. Right, so our criteria is M. At the moment, it's come back with 6, which is correct. Notice again, it puts in the little quotation marks for me because it's text. So I hit enter, And there we go, 6 males, is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well done, Excel. Number of females is the same thing. I'm going to quickly type it in just to show you that you can type in it if you want. Whoops, I've spelled count wrong. Now, if you spell it correctly, look, Excel will give you some help here. So you know it's the range first, so I choose the range. And note, it needs to be where the actual thing is you're counting. So if I tried to count male and females in this range, it wouldn't work. It needs to be where the male and females are. Semicolon, and now my criteria. And here I need to put in the quote marks myself. There we go, 5 females. We know that's correct. 11 students, 6 males, that leaves 5 females. So that's how to use count, COUNTIF, and if statements. You will probably use them a lot.